DreAllDay.com.
On DreAllDay.com. We know that in basketball, everybody wants to get stats. Everybody wants to be seen. We all want to have that, statistical profile that we can show off to the internet, show off to our friends that we know that everybody else knows. We're the person scoring X number of points. We got the triple doubles, whatever stat makes you look good. Every basketball player wants to accomplish having a whole lot of stats, whether they admit it or not. Thing is, we know that not everybody's going to get stats, and sometimes you may get great stats, but your team doesn't actually win the game. And that's what I want to discuss here, which is the unwritten rule of statistical achievement in basketball. And here it is. If your team did not win the game, you don't brag about your stats. You don't talk about your stats. You don't bring up what you have achieved statistically if your team doesn't win. I was playing ball with somebody sometime in the past, somebody who I know, and his team didn't win the game, but he had really good stats. He had the best stats on his team, but his team lost. And then later on, when we was talking about those games, this guy kept bragging about how many points he had and how he was scoring on this person, how this person couldn't stop him and this and that. And I'm like, dude, yeah, you had stats, but your team didn't win the game. So when you keep bragging about stats, here's the thing that happens. When you're a person who's bragging about your stats or you're making light of your stats when your team didn't win, now you just look like an asshole. Now you look like a player you look like who you are. You look like a selfish player who really cares more about your statistics than you care about actually winning the game. And everybody sees this. The coaches see it. The fans see it. Your teammates are seeing this. Now they figuring out what type of person you are because you care more about your numbers or what you did personally as opposed to helping the team actually win the game. And, I mean, honestly, I'm the type of player who it would never even cross my mind to think like that, to even say something like that, to brag about my stats when my team didn't win. I had games where I put up great stats, my team lost, but I wasn't running around like, yeah, look at the stats I put up. Ain't nobody helped me out. It was just me out there, or I did this or that, or bragging about how nobody could guard me when my team didn't win, because the object of the game is always to win. Now, if you are a good player and you're playing to win, you're going to get stats in the process of doing all that. And like I heard a guy like Michael Jordan, he talked about that in interviews. People would ask him about getting his stats or how much does it matter to you that you led the league in scoring and you had this stat and that stat. And he said, that really doesn't matter to me. People will use it 100 years from now to measure me against other people to say, all right, he must have been good because look at his numbers. But the object is to win. And if you're a good player and you're playing to win, you're going to get stats in the process. You're going to grab rebounds and get steals and score points because that's probably one of those is going to be your role on the team. And understand that this analogizes also to life. It's not just about basketball. Imagine if you're a person and you got a crew of people with you. Let's say you got a whole lot of money. So you got a nice house, you got nice cars, you got jewelry, nice clothes, and you showing off your material possessions all the time. But all the people rolling with you, they don't really have it. So they ain't got really nice stuff. They all rolling with you. And the only time they really get to eat like that is when they hanging with you. But you always showing off your stuff while everybody else has nothing. Now you like an asshole because every time you're showing off your stuff with all your people around you, all those people are thinking about is, damn, I ain't got none of that shit, but I'm rolling with this dude, but he keeps bragging about what he has as if he's trying to impress everybody else. So what about the people he's rolling with? It's the same thing with a basketball player who puts up great stats and loses. You keep talking about your stats, but all your teammates are sitting there like, yo, we lost the game. This dude seems more interested in letting everybody know about his statistical performance than about the fact that we didn't win the game. I thought the object of the game was to win. Because basketball is a team sport. So, I mean, if it was a solo sport, you wouldn't even have people bragging about their stats. You don't hear tennis players bragging about their stats when they lose a tennis match, right? Because the only thing that matters is did you win the match or lose the match. So this only happens in team sports, a sport like basketball or even football, where you get players who talk about what they're doing personally when their teams aren't winning as if they don't have nothing to do with that. It's a little bit different in football because one football player usually doesn't play both sides of the ball, doesn't get to impact the game as much as one basketball player does, but the principle is exactly the same. You as the person on your team, I don't care if you're the main person or one of the role people, don't brag about what you got and what you're doing personally if your team is not doing as well as you're doing, because then you like an asshole. Everybody on your team sees that you're an asshole. They may not say anything to you, but they understand this, and this is going to destroy the foundation of your team from the inside out without you even knowing explicitly what happened. But I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. So make sure you're not making this mistake. be a team player, and be good individually at the same time. All right, if you are as good as you say you are, you should be able to pull this off. Work on your game.